It's a preferred time to learn React. Okay. I am Tawfiq Alam, an UI expert and working as a module lead. So what is React? So React is a JavaScript library to build interactive user interface which execute faster. So React is a JavaScript library, not a framework. So what is framework? So a framework provides complete solution for creating front-end application, and React as a library is lightweight and provides support for building only view. That means only user interface for UI application. But it's not necessarily a drawback. It's a proper mechanism to build user interface and to make them interact to the user. That means you can accept input and also provides dynamic information to the user. So this way user can create real-time application like Facebook and other application. For example, user can see a post and user can also create own post. Okay, so React is developed by Facebook and it mainly uses for dynamic single page application. Okay, so single page application is an application that render small pieces of the page user interface and make them complete application. Okay, so in React, uh, we create component and use that component, okay, to render as a UI with its logic. Okay, so we can say component is the backbone of the React JS. Okay, so in React, we actually build reusable UI component, and each component is represented of the meaningful page in user interface. For example, we have navigation bar as a sidebar and page content as well. And here each of piece is represented as a piece of the UI. Okay, and those are represented as a component in the code. And this component is by default reusable. That means we can display the navigation bar in the application wherever it is required. So by default, UI component is reusable, which contains design logic as well as the programming logic. So here design logic in the form of the HTML and programming logic written in the form of JavaScript. Okay. So in React, uh, if we do DOM manipulation, okay, it will not be reflected directly to the real DOM. First, it will be make changes in the virtual DOM, and then corresponding virtual DOM, then corresponding uh, real DOM will be updated. Okay, so this way virtual DOM. So virtual DOM uh, is the hierarchy of the component in React, which immediate to the real DOM of the browser. So when you update any changes in the virtual DOM, React internally compares the virtual DOM and real DOM, and only that changes made in the virtual DOM will be updated into the real DOM, and same appears to the browser. Okay, so in React, component is the main things. So how we can create component? Okay, so for creating component, uh, React support new syntax JSX, which stands for JavaScript XML. Okay, that means developer can use all the concept of JavaScript along with the XML. Okay, within the same program. Here HTML tag written in the form of XML. That means HTML is case sensitive. So and every tag must be every tag must be open or close both, or it must be self close. Okay, so what is exciting about the React.js? That is the most popular front-end library. Okay, which is competitive to the other framework such as Angular, Vue.js, but often generally it is compared with the Angular. Okay, so what is the difference between there is a question arises like what is the difference between Angular and React? Okay, so React is a Angular is a JavaScript framework to complete front-end application. JavaScript library to create UI or view. Okay, uh, but in Angular, it provides much more beyond this. In addition to the UI, Angular also provides the necessary features like to create routing and make REST API call in Angular application. So Angular provides much more beyond the React.js because React.js only uh, for view. It's not necessarily a drawback, but it can actually but we can achieve all those things by using third-party tool. Okay, and in order to use such features like routing, mm, making REST API calls. Okay, so uh, Angular forces to build single-page application, although React can fit either for single page application or multiple page application. Okay, even we start the development in between, we can switch to the multiple page application in React. Okay, by creating multiple HTML file. Okay, and Angular directly operates real DOM, and React operates virtual DOM and updates the real browser DOM. Okay, that means when you operate the value of the property in the Angular, the same will be reflected in real DOM other than first updating in the virtual DOM. But in case of React, it directly works based on the virtual DOM, and anytime when we make update in virtual DOM, for example, if we are modifying the property of the value, it actually compares the virtual DOM and real DOM browser. Okay, so and update the real DOM only for specific changes instead of overwriting of the complete DOM. So this makes React application faster. Okay, uh, Angular directly support the two-way binding, although React directly support by default it supports one-way binding. Although by applying logic we can achieve that kind of task, but directly it supports one-way binding. Okay, that means in Angular, if we read input from the user, it also provides the state data to the user. When it comes to React, it by default supports only one-way binding. Okay, so for today, uh, only this much. Okay, so for further lecture, this topic will be covered. Okay, first React app, render your data, and parent-child component communication, lifecycle methods, forms, REST API calls, routing, CRUD, validation, functional component and hooks, Redux, JavaScript function, ESMA6, and other more things. Okay, we'll see. Thank you. If any question, you can ask. I will reply. Thank you.